Good morning, everybody. I'm David Davis.
And I'm Alexis Del Chiaro. Today is Thursday, August 9th.
All right, with the challenging economy, many business owners are looking for some insight on how to succeed. Rob Basso is the founder of Basso on Business, and he's also the author of a new book called The Everyday Entrepreneur, and he's here with some tips for us. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having me.
You've flown in from New York.
I did.
And you've got a big workshop going on this afternoon as part of the reason you're here.
Correct. I'm over at the Coronado Lowe's and really looking forward to speaking to the San Diegan business community.
Another reason you're here is kind of timely with the Olympics. You're kind of connecting this with an Olympic effort.
Yeah, the whole concept is channeling your inner Olympic spirit to be successful in business. And really the talk is about having tips for small and medium-sized business owners to be successful in this very tough economy.
Not just owners, but those, I guess, wannabe owners too.
Wannabe owners, people that are thinking about going out on their own, and there are a lot of people trying to hang their own shingle and call themselves a business owner. It's a lot more challenging than people think.
I bet it is. So where do you start? How do you get started with your workshop?
Well, here's an example. Like we take a woman like Jordan Weber, who is really one of the most fantastic gymnasts that really ever walked the planet, and she struggled significantly in the all-arounds, and she studied her whole life and practiced her whole life and just fell short. But 2 days later, she actually made a huge difference and a huge impact on the entire team, helping them win the gold. You can channel that inner spirit that Jordan had and actually figure out how to be resilient within your own business. Here's a business example. Okay. In my book, I interviewed a guy named Jeff Hoffman, and he was one of the founders of what became the Priceline families of businesses. He used to have a business that was called Virtual Shopping. Now, that was before you could ever buy anything on the internet. It failed miserably because he was way too soon. But he took a look at his assets and he sold it to the banking industry, made a ton of money, and came back when the market was ready for online shopping. That's resiliency, and that's what small business owners can do.
He was ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time.
Yeah. So you don't have to be an athlete, but you do have to have that dedication.
You do. Dedication is a big part of it, but it's also building the right team around you. And again, we could use the women's gymnastics as an example. Marta Karolyi, who put the team together, she says this is one of the best teams. 3 out of the 4 best Olympic gymnasts are on her team, and that's why they're so successful. I met a guy, his name is Joe Corcoran, and I interviewed him in my book. He's the creator of Tony and Tina's Wedding. It's a big, huge, popular show which has been licensed all around the world, where people come to a fake Italian wedding, and they participate in it. His actors were so important to that. It's no different in business. You need to pick the right actors to help your business succeed.
Yeah. So if somebody picks up this book and takes a look at, what are they going to find in the book that's going to help them?
Well, I believe they're going to find a lot of tips to help them succeed in business. What I did was I incorporated some of my stories and some of my miserable failures to hopefully stop people from making the same mistakes.
You got to look at those too, right?
I only learn from my failures. I don't want to have anybody around me who hasn't failed before in their life. To me, it's one of the most important things to be able to pick yourself up. I like to say entrepreneurs have to be able to be kicked in the teeth and be prepared to wear dentures for their whole life, because that's what it's about.
You got to keep getting off the mat, right?
That's right.
This afternoon it's a workshop. Who are you going to be talking to exactly?
Well, the name of the organization is the Independent Payroll Processors Association, and that's payroll and human resources providers, and they're actually the conduit to getting paid for all the employees in the surrounding area. So they're really important because that human resources aspect really drives the economy, hiring the right people, and these are the people that I want to meet to help the local community.
Okay, if there are people out there that maybe can't attend that workshop, but they maybe can pick up the book, The Everyday Entrepreneur, what would you say to them? What if they're just getting started, they're just feeling it, just beginning to feel that urge to get into the entrepreneurship?
I would say take a long, hard look inside yourself and really talk to other people that have been successful to make sure this is something that you're capable of doing. I think there's a mistake that everybody can be an entrepreneur. I don't think that's really true, and that's okay. You can be a good part of somebody else's team, but you have to know that before you get started, before you go down a path to find yourself failing.
All right, Rob Basso, the name of the book is The Everyday Entrepreneur. Welcome to San Diego.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks.
All right. Well, the San Diego Chargers' first game.